Here are the 10 best Xbox Game Pass Xbox 360 games, going back and enjoying the glory days of, well, the Xbox 360 through Game Pass. Be sure to like the video, subscribing is great as well. And if you are grabbing Xbox Game Pass, consider using the affiliate link in the video description, as it takes you to the Microsoft Store and supports the content on the channel. So first up, we have Gears of War 3, a classic mighty entry within the franchise that also offers FPS boost with a resolution bump up as well. So you kind of get the full treatment for this one. You get to enjoy the intense single player, play that cooperatively, enjoy horde mode where you work together against waves of enemies with traps and other things you can use to help defend yourself. There's the competitive multiplayer that still has active players jumping in, battling one another. There's beast mode where you can become the beasts. Gears of War 3 offers a comprehensive and expansive Gears of War package. It really is excellent. This is Dead Space 2, another title that is FPS boosted, where you get to enjoy the next adventure, or well, the second adventure for this poor engineer that gets caught in just the worst situations. I mean, things have not been going too well for our hero, and yeah, then things start to get worse again, even though things never really improved for him. You're reeling from the loss of someone very close to you, and you're trying to survive in a place where basically, yeah, the monstrous, weird necromorphs are back, and you are just trying to make it through, blasting, battling, and most likely dying in a very large variety of differing ways. You're really just trying to make it out of this latest outbreak and discover what happened along the way that caused this most recent interruption and problem, as you just really are peacefully trying to live and get your life back on track. This is Battlefield 3, the third main entry in the Battlefield franchise. This one brought a more intense, mature, at the time graphically impressive campaign offering where you are going right to the thick of battle and seeing lots of destructive elements. It's got multiplayer that actually still has a number of people playing and enjoying the action across a couple different modes and setups and scenarios. So yeah, Battlefield 3 definitely was a rather intriguing entry. I would have usually put something like Bad Company or Bad Company 2 here, but with those ones kind of being delisted and, you know, shuttered and everything like that in the near future, I thought I would throw Battlefield 3 just for longevity's sake. So if you are curious about that aspect, I thought I would mention that as well in this one. The Bad Companies are awesome. But yeah, Battlefield 3 does deliver a, at the time, graphically impressive, intense, combative experience that you can enjoy, single or multiplayer. This is Fable 2, one of the greatest role-playing games. Fable 2 is an adventure of excitement and morality. Are you embracing the light, or are you turning to the dark? It changes how your character looks and is perceived, and you're just on this really incredible adventure, but just beyond that adventure, there's lots of other little things you can do, like buying up property, or maybe having a family, or playing maybe with someone else. It's an intriguing, expansive offering that just really has classic fun humor and style and chicken kicking, and it's just a delightful tale of just such a great offering of adventure within the fantasy role-playing genre. The whole Fable franchise is awesome, but Fable 2 really does stick out as just such a treasure. This is Alice Madness Returns, which is a 3D platformer with a very dark sort of twist to the overall game. You're heading back to Wonderland, where things are, as per usual, really messed up, dark, and creepy and weird. You are cutting stuff, shooting stuff. You're making your way through this really creepy, odd, bizarre world, and you're meeting the usual characters that you might be familiar with, but of course it has this really edgy, mature sort of overlay to it. Even the themes of the regular world that you visit before jumping into the Wonderland are really messed up. And yeah, it's kind of a very different, interesting adventure. I think it's certainly worthwhile in terms of playing and exploring and seeing what it has to offer, because it is a very fresh twist on a classic kind of tale, really. This is Dragon Age Origins, which is also FPS boosted, which is awesome. It is a intensive role-playing experience where you have a party, you build this group, you build this team, you make choices, you do really classic kind of dungeon crawling, role-playing, and you're trying to kind of figure out what's going on in regards to the overall arcing story here. It starts off pretty calm, and then things start to get a little bit more intense. Honestly, there's a couple Dragon Age games you can enjoy from the 360 era, and everything is, FPS boosted from that franchise, which is awesome, but I highlight Origins as I think this one kind of has a neat vibe to it, a neat story, an interesting set of characters with lots of really kind of personalization in how you do your setup, your scenario, your skills, and everything like that. I think Dragon Age Origins actually delivers a pretty cool package and experience for you to dive into. But if you want something with a little bit more of a punch to it, Fight Night Champion, the last of the Fight Night games, the last of the boxing games that are actually still available. This is actually incredible that this one is even present. It's got some really iconic individuals and boxers included in this package. It brings hard-hitting action, it's got quite the campaign to it, lots of quick fight ways to kind of battle, whether you're doing like kind of quick matches or you're doing more dynamic match setups. It's really neat, and as you're seeing here, you can have like Tyson versus Ali, and it's got like a really stylistic visual approach that I think still holds up even today. So yeah, this one is quite an interesting choice, at least I personally think so, to include in this one, as it is something very different, but it is also a bit of a gem, as it is something that we haven't seen this franchise continue. It's basically kind of just been sort of left alone, but miracle-wise, this one is present to still be playable, which is awesome. This is Fallout New Vegas, FPS boosted. Enjoy this intensive Fallout experience where you go to the wastes of the desert and make your choices and choose your path and do role-playing and, battle people and have influence on different factions and shoot stuff and kind of explore with your own free will and take in the open world however you'd like to, and dive into different buildings, and it's got some really interesting themes in regards to this being a place where it's like a little different from the other places that got like straight up bombed. But yes, it's still just as decayed, sad, sorrowing, and weird as you would expect, well, from any Fallout experience. This one is also interesting because the initial premise of it is you're just a courier trying to figure out what happened to a package. That's basically the starting of it, and your adventure is just a wild journey that goes off in crazy directions throughout this experience. This is The Elder Scrolls IV: Oblivion. I consider this like kind of a high fantasy role-playing experience. It's not only FPS boosted, it's also resolution bumped up as well. So you get a very clean, smooth, great looking, classic role-playing game from the Elder Scrolls franchise. I actually think that a lot of people, if they gave this one a whirl, would find it really cool. The opening is like this intense kind of jailbreak scenario, and then you're just like thrust out into the open world to go and explore towns or hidden places or meet people, and you really kind of are given complete freedom to literally do whatever you want in this game. It's quite a concept. It gives you like a goal, but it doesn't really force you down any sort of paths or anything like that. And while it is very different from, say, Skyrim, which came later on, I do think this one is definitely worthwhile and different. This is Perfect Dark, and like in the title, this is a perfect shooter. It is so awesome. If you like something like, say, GoldenEye that they brought back, Perfect Dark is the successor to that, bringing really intense, fast-paced action, shooting, combat, goals, missions, a smooth interface where everything has been bumped up from a resolution standpoint, so it plays smoothly, it looks great, and it's awesome. This is like literally quite a perfect shooter. It's very, very good. The cyberpunk-esque elements of it are cool too, and it's just really neat to explore, make choices, and interact with characters along the way. Perfect Dark is a very, very good game, and one I'm always happy to highlight. So once again, liking the video is great, subscribing is great as well. As I mentioned, if you're getting Game Pass, consider using that affiliate link. And I hope you found something hopefully new and cool from an older era of gaming where I know time is going by, right?